Hello everyone, welcome to Topper IAS. So as part of our daily series, today also we will discuss a topic which is important from the UPSC means, okay? And we already started with regionalism. Already we have completed two videos, particularly one with the introduction of regionalism, what is region and what causes region, what is what you understand by the term regionalism, that we started. Then in the second video, we have completed a various forms of regionalism. So how this regionalism is manifested in India, okay, that we have seen. And in today's class we will see exactly sum up what exactly are the causes of regionalism. We have already seen the different forms of regionalism. So if you closely analyze, taking each example, then you will obviously get to a point why the particular regionalism has manifested. So those are nothing but what you get is causes of regionalism. So we will see what are the exact causes of regionalism in today's video. Okay, so let's get started then. So brief again, regionalism, an ideology which promotes the cause of particular region. So positive effect is also there, negative effect is also there. Positive effect for the people, a sense of belongingness, identity, and promote their culture and all. But in negative way, affecting national unity, integrity, and those all aspects. Okay, so let's see what are the causes of regionalism. So coming to causes of regionalism, so first one is a geographical cause. Yes, basic meaning of region itself. Okay, in geographical term, people living in a spatial area. So moment people are living in a spatial area, obviously these people will be having a sense of belongingness to a particular region. So that gives them a common identity. A geographical area gives them an identity when you compare with the other part. For example, we have a northeast India, right? So people living in this region will have a identity of belongings to a particular region, obviously. Okay, so that is how a region gives people a sense of identity. Then other causes of regionalism, we have diversity. India, a land of diversity, multicultural, multilinguistic, multi-religious, right? So the land of, that's why we refer it as the land of diversity. So particularly a cultural diversity also leads to a phenomenon of regionalism. Take for example linguistic. Yes, a language, a common identifier. So people speaking particular language will get unified, right? So that unification leads to a sense of identity, and that in a negative way may lead to linguism. Okay, because we have seen a linguistic reorg. So why there was a demand for a reorganization of states on language? Even now Bodo land, Bodo speakers, they also demand for it. And not only that, like all the linguistic reorganization demand, Potti Sriramulu started. Then a number of demand from different people speaking different languages, so that you reorganize the states on the basis of language. So diversity, particularly language, plays an important role in the growing feeling of regionalism. Okay, then customs and traditions. Yes, people of different region, different customs and tradition they have. So that also gives people identity, because we have seen uh, region, as region is not just a geographical identity, right? Not just geographical identity but a social system. So moment you say social system, the social system will compromise of all those things. Okay, food practices, various practices like dressing style, where the marriages are conducted and all. You see, for example, customs and tradition, there is clear demarcation between the culture in North India and South India. Specifically, you see in South India, you see a commonality, particularly in conduct of marriages or the food habits. So take for example rice. So rice is a common food in South India, and it is as if there is no you have not taken food if you have not eaten rice. So it feels like incomplete if you don't eat rice. But if you see, go to North India, you see eating rice is a exception. Okay, so that is not a necessity item as part of your food and all. So that is a difference in uh, food habits. So that also gives a sense of identity, so that also promotes. So that's what the main intention is, customs and tradition. which are part of diversity leads to regionalism. So North India, South India, these are referred, right? Not only in geographical differentiating, also in differentiating culture between people of these regions. Then political reasons, yes, political reasons. You see the phenomena of identity politics. So identity politics is there where you do politicize the issues based on the identity of people. So you can use identities like caste, religion, and all those things. So among many identities, region is also identity of people. So people are attached to their identities. So people are obviously attached to their region. So politicians a tactic to exploit the sentiments of the people, regional sentiments of the people. So that is why they demand for like they bring in the issue of various issues of a region. So moment they say it, we are doing it for development of our region, obviously people are going to support this regional political parties. So that is how you see rise of regional parties in India, by doing by exploiting the regional sentiments of the people. Okay, so obviously positive is there, it's not a completely a negative things, because you are getting a regional issues highlighted on national scale also. So those issues will be addressed, good thing. So we have a number of political parties, right? SP, BSP, New P, DMK in Tamil Nadu, Akali Dal in Punjab. So we have seen examples. So in previous video, you just need to bring under different causes. So political cause for regionalism and a number of examples. Okay, then we have economical cause. So it is said among many all the causes, economic cause also plays a major role, because see there is a regional relative deprivation. So inequality is there, inequality not only with respect to humans, inequality with respect to regions also. A particular regions are very well developed, so you see overdevelopment in one region, whereas underdevelopment in other regions. So development, when we talk here, particularly with respect to opportunities like economic opportunities, opportunities to grow, education and all, a development of infrastructure, road transport, communication, these all play a significant role in the development of a region. And you see there is a stark difference between particular areas having all these facilities and particular areas devoid of these facilities. So that gives rise to n number of phenomena which can be clubbed under regionalism. For example, Vidarbha region in Maharashtra, so lacks poorly, is very poor in terms of social and economic indicators compared to western part of Maharashtra, which forms a coastal regions and important cities. Mumbai, Pune, all are part of western part of Maharashtra. So there is a clear stark difference in the infrastructure development and all those things. So that can be said as one economical reason, where you can say example for regionalism due to economical factors. And you see immigration issue, NRC in Assam. So why are the people demanding? Among many reasons, one allegation is that illegal migrants coming to the Assam, and they are taking away the jobs of the local, right? So all economical, not only demographic changes affecting the culture and all, also economic factor also is there. So that also you can quote example. And you might have often come across the term son of the soil concept. So people belonging to a particular region, they are the son of the soil. So these people should be preferred compared to others. So where do the others come in picture here? Major cities, Mumbai, Chennai, Punjab, and all these people from UP, Bihar goes to these major cities. Why? Because there is lack of development in their region, no economic opportunities. So they will goes to these people where there is plenty of opportunities. But moment these people go in these regions, so what happens? Lack of jobs to localites, a issue is raised. So what is you are favoring the outside people at the cost of local people. So that is how the son of soil concept is born. So you have to give preference to localites, not the outsiders. So this is also an expression of regionalism. Okay, so that can be said as a result of economical factors. So economical cause of regionalism. Then that's what you have come across several states going for reservation in jobs for localites. So that is also expression of regionalism. So why unemployment is there? So address unemployment. So you favor localites. So that is how you link it to economical cause of regionalism. So yes, those are the broad categories under which you can club the causes of regionalism. Then how did India accommodate regionalism, right? So we have seen the regionalism as a phenomenon exist at international level also, and even in India. So we have seen forms of regionalism. So how did India actually accommodate such a regionalism, right? So there are a number of things like establishment of planning commission. So planning commission, among many objectives, so one of the main objective was to ensure balanced regional growth. So we have seen disparity, a relative deprivation in the regions, in the growth, in economical causes, right? So one reason, so to avoid such a deprivation or disparity in regional development, planning commission was done, established, and provision for autonomy within 5th and 6th schedule. So we have seen a cause of regionalism, diversity, cultural cause. So tribal areas, for example, taken 6th schedule, Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram, they have been given a special provisions, right? Why? Among many reasons. One is to protect their tradition, customs, and culture. Okay, so that is how you are accommodating a regionalism. Moment their aspirations are satisfied, obviously it will not negatively impact the national unity. Then linguistic reorganization of states. So 7th Constitutional Amendment Acts, what it accepting the recommendation of States Reorganization Commission, Fazal Ali Commission. So states were reorganized on the basis of language in 1956. So formation of states on the language. So that is how you satisfied, you accommodated a regional aspirations. So language is a basis of regionalism that was accommodated. And promoting three language formula. So you often come across national educational policy going for providing for three language formula, right? Not all states are implemented, but still this is what is the necessity of coming out with three language formula. So you are not going to impose a particular language on any state. For example, moment Hindi is talked about, there will be a protest in Tamil Nadu. So you are not imposing to Hindi language, but you are providing a flexibility. So you can go for a native language, English language, and any other mother tongue. Okay, so that is the flexibility provided. So first, this was in National Educational Policy 1968, which first talked about three language formula. So providing a flexibility. So intention is not imposing any language to any state. Okay. Then special grants to backward states, particularly, for example, special category status. So you might have also come across in newspaper, states like Bihar demanding for special category status. Why are they demanding for it? Because see, there is a financial benefit if they get a special category status. For example, in central sponsored schemes, uh, for special category status, if the state is under this, then 90% of the cost of the program will be borne by center. Okay, only 10% by the state, and that too without interest and all the expenditure. So they get these financial benefits. That is why the states demand for special category states, and that's why even center agreed provide for this CS. Actually special category status was based on Gadgil formula. Okay, and the main intention was to power such states which are at a disadvantage in terms of geography, hilly region, mountainous regions, so that not enough scope for economic development, and those regions with a poor economic infrastructure, and those with the border regions and all those things. So a special category status was given, and a financial incentive. Okay, so that is how a disparity between different states were also addressed by giving special grants, and these states were preferred while giving a central grants. Okay, this was the way also accommodating regionalism. Then provision of interstate council under Article 263 of the Indian Constitution. Yes, we have interstate council provided under Article 263 of Indian Constitution. So what is it does? It provides a forum to discuss various issues between center and state, also make states come together, so that you address the issues. So also, so in the obviously a discussion, you will be bringing up the regional issues and how to overcome such a challenges of regionalism and all those things. So this was also part of constitution. So by doing this, India has so far, addressed various regionalism issues, and still issues continue. It's not that you get one, you have a tablet and you take a tablet and disease is over. Okay, so regionalism as a phenomena will exist and different demands will be there, and according to the time you have to evolve different solutions to us, accommodate regional aspirations. Okay, so that was it for today. You can download the PDF of this document in the link that is shared below, and do download Topper IAS Institute app so that you can watch these kind of videos for many times again and again, and for a better material related to UPSC preparation. Thank you.